I'm going to tell you something that no one tells you about mineral sunscreens and the problem with so many of these sunscreens. This particular product caught my attention because it has non-nano sized zinc particles. Because when it comes to UVA protection, it is the non-nano zinc that provides better protection as comparison to nano or micronized zinc oxide. But most of the Indian brands are using micronized zinc in their sunscreens because the micronized zinc sunscreens are easier to apply, they are cosmetically elegant and do not leave a white cast. The white cast that you see because of mineral sunscreens, it is mostly the non-nano size sunscreens. So naturally the cosmetic brands prefer the micronized particles of zinc or titanium. But the micronized mineral UV filters are prone to agglomeration if uncoated, meaning uncoated zinc oxide and titanium dioxide are likely to clump together in the formula and leaving you with lots of zinc in some parts and not enough in other parts, which results in less evenly dispersed zinc particles. As we know, an evenly dispersed film of sunscreen on the skin is very important for sun protection. Also, these micronized sunscreens, if uncoated, are bad for reefs. To avoid this clumping or agglomeration, these micronized UV filters have to be coated. I will write somewhere in the screen what is usually used to coat these UV filters. If you see this ingredient in the ingredients list, the UV filters are most likely coated. Problem with most of the micronized mineral sunscreen is that they use uncoated micronized mineral filters. This factor can critically affect your sunscreen's performance or the protection offered. My personal preference, however, always goes to non-nano mineral sunscreens as they offer better protection in the UVA spectrum as compared to the micronized mineral particles. Also, the nano mineral UV filters do provide some protection in the high energy visible light spectrum too. I think it is better to go for a sunscreen that has better UVA1 and high energy visible light protection. Because for Indian skin tones, most of the sun damage, hyperpigmentation or suntan comes from UVA1 and high energy visible light. Also, the non-nano mineral UV filters help soothing and calming the skin, which is why you will see so many diaper rash creams with zinc or titanium. This product also contains niacinamide, but do not expect this product to lighten your marks or do something that a niacinamide serum can do, because the concentration in a serum is obviously higher and this one is more likely to have a low concentration. But even at low concentration, niacinamide does help to some extent with barrier repair. This also has cica extracts which calms and soothes skin. And then there is licorice and Chinese skull cap extract both. And one thing I will say that this sunscreen actually does is that it does calm your skin. It does reduce redness to a certain extent. This also contains glycerin, which is a humectant. I don't often buy products with glycerin because glycerin in cosmetics can also be animal derived. But Asaya claims that their products are 100% vegan. I am going to only apply on one half of my face. It does have a tone up effect after application and I do want to show it to you. Also, all the redness that I have on my face also calms down to a certain extent after using this. Like most of the non-nano sunscreens are very difficult to use. This one on the other hand, it's very fluid. The texture is very fluid and which makes it very easy to apply. It will leave a slight white cast for some time after the application, that is, but it's the white cast settles after a few minutes and it does match my skin tone at the end. So you will see it does have a little bit of tone up effect, but it does not leave white cast as usually non-nano zinc sunscreens do. On the other side of my face. I will try to not edit I will try not to edit the you can see the finish of this is not very oily, but it's not very matte either. I think even for people who have slightly darker skin tone than me, this will not leave a white cast. The fluid consistency makes it very easier to apply. I wanted to show you the reapplication because so many sunscreens tend to pill while reapplying. So just to give you the idea of what it actually looks like after reapplying. I have used a generous amount, but this sunscreen takes very little time to blend. Also, the texture of this is very smooth, very velvety. It so much reminds me of Heliocare mineral. The texture reminds me so much of the Heliocare mineral sunscreen that I have used in the past. That one has the same. That one has the similar fluid consistency and similar kind of finish. Look after reapplication. This is my own blender. Please ignore. Foundation that I am using is Color Bar XOXO, and this is the amount I am using. Foundation does not have a foundation like finish, but more like a BB cream. And you will notice that this sunscreen does not pill under foundation. And this is how it looks. I'll say this is not completely waterproof, but it is very, very water resistant as compared to so many Indian sunscreens that I have used. Even after using so much water, this is not completely coming off. Needs attention about this product is their lab report. Asaya claims this sunscreen to be in vivo tested, but in their lab report that they have uploaded on their website, the test method is mentioned as ISO 24443, which is an in vitro test. Now this is not a huge problem for me. I do not like in vivo tested sunscreens. I do not want in vivo tested sunscreens because I am against this whole testing of cosmetics on any living being, whether human or animal. But I wanted to mention this because while they are advertising this product everywhere on the internet as in vivo tested, this is actually not in vivo tested. And then coming to UVA test, a test method that they have used is not your so standard test method. It is FLSOP something. I don't know what kind of UVA testing that they have performed on this sunscreen, because even when I Google, it is not showing any data regarding this test method. So neither UVA or UVB is in vivo tested. UVB is in vitro tested, and UVA, I couldn't find any data regarding this test method of UVA that they have used. So I will say always research your products before buying them, because there is so much false advertisement and manipulative marketing by not just Asaya. There are so many skincare brands that are blatantly lying. Unless we as a consumer make ourselves more aware, these companies are going to continue to do these things. If I ignore this whole lab report thing, for a non-nano sunscreen, the finish is good. This does help with redness.